and welcome to Titanium-Talarstarot, and today I will be doing a how can you help yourself, others, and the world this week video, alright? So for this, I'll be using some concepts from Superconscious Education, brought to us by Chris Duncan. I will also be using a deck I wrote myself, which I named the Action Oracle, alright? And with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, let us get into the cards and concepts. So, now for my insight, alright, I would just like to mention a conversation that I had with my father like a minute ago, and how it's very interesting that at times you need to define things, because I have a coach who defines one thing as being a specific way. And my father was like, no. That thing needs to... I don't define it as that. And so instead of fighting or like having a discussion about this with my father, I was like, well, that's just his lexicon, my coach's lexicon of that thing. So I mean, I'm not saying that yours is wrong and his is right, or his is right and his is wrong and yours is right. I'm just saying that's just the way that he, sets it, phrases it or defines it, things of that nature. And so that way, my father was able to say, okay, if that's his lexicon, that's his lexicon. There's nothing I can say about it. That's just the way he does it. And I'm like, okay. So I find that it's putting things in perspective and being able to define things better might actually be a way to help either one, lessen the charge of a situation, or clearly define what is being discussed. Because if there is a misunderstanding, a miscommunication somewhere, at least when things are clearly defined, you can make sure that everyone can clearly get on the same wavelength about this and move forward with that, okay? So that was it for my insight. Now, with that being said, now let us get into the reading, alright? So the way I will divide this reading is by using the 9 orientations, okay, brought to us by Chris Duncan in his program Superconscious Education. And with that, let us begin. So the first group of individuals I will be pulling for are my perfectionists, the individuals who intuitively know how things should be done in order for them to turn out great. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my perfectionists, please come forward and share. Please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my perfectionists, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides. And you've got read into, research, read up on. So what I'm feeling is that you're getting an intuitive hit about a specific thing. And this is just saying, instead of... Okay, so I'm getting a specific group of perfectionists who tend to get lost in their thoughts, who like to imagine situations around things that actually happened, instead of clarifying with the person that is actually, with whom they're actually having the issue. So they just imagine situations, okay? And due to that imagining of situations, they go off on this tangent story that has no sense whatsoever, and they create this entire world that makes no sense. And now I'm talking about this like I know, because I do this. I used to do this myself. Now I am correcting it slowly but surely by making myself ask questions. It's not an easy thing because it's new and I have to change the way I work. But it is something that I am going to do, that I am working on, that I am doing. Okay? So that is how can you help yourself. Read into, research, read up on, ask questions to really be able to understand how you can work on this. Okay? How can my perfectionists help others? And you got to think it over. Think it over instead of, like I said, instead of just sticking with the story that was created in your mind's eye. Alright, think it over. Make sure that, think it over. How can I ask a question to understand what is actually happening? So that you can actually get a perfect answer. You need to ask the other person, what are you thinking? Why? For you to really be able to perfectly respond to the situation at hand, you need to first be able to ask a question so that you can get the response you are looking for from the other party. Okay? So now, how can my perfectionists help the world? Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good. And you got have standards. Have standards. What is it that you are going to allow yourself to work on? What is it that what will you allow for yourself in this current situation? Right? So in this situation where you don't clearly see or you don't clearly understand what is at play, what can you allow yourself to do? That is what I'm getting. Okay, so that was it for my perfectionists. Now, on to my helpers. The individuals who intuitively know how to assist anyone in any given situation. Okay? So, please, God, angels, and guides, anyone from the highest good who has a message for my helpers, please come forward and share how can they help themselves. Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my helpers, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my helpers, how can they help themselves? And you got clean up. I heard aisle 12. Do you work in a convenience store, or do you work in a grocery store? Clean up on aisle 12. Or is this clean up in a specific area of your life? Clean up in that aisle or area. So maybe cleaning up something in your life will help you. My helpers, I don't know. That's what's coming to mind. Now, how can my helpers help others? Be playful. Avoid taking life too seriously. And if I think of the one helper I do know, well, one of the helpers I do know, I can say he's very playful. So, yeah. He's a hoot, if you will. So, yeah. And now, how can my helpers help the world? And you got, take it one day at a time. Divine timing is at play here. Take it one day at a time. Divine timing is at play here for my helpers. In regards to helping the world, I feel like you want to do so much, but you want to do a lot, but there is only, I feel like in order for you to be able to help the world, there are steps and stages you need to follow. And in order for you to assist the world at the best of your ability, you have to follow those steps. And so just take the time to do the steps. And at the end of the steps, you will be able to do what you set forth to do, is what I'm getting. Okay? So that was it for my helpers. Now on to my achievers, the individuals who intuitively know how to set goals and go about achieving them one by one. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone from the highest good who has a message for my achievers, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my achievers, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides. And you got wrap. Achievers, wrap, a present, wrap, wrap a wrap, like a wrap a taco, or wrap a tortilla, wrap, like I said, a present, wrap something, wrap it, okay? Can we wrap up a project, wrap your head around something, comprehend something? It could take many forms, all right? Or wrap a shawl around your neck. I don't know. Okay, so that is how my achievers can help themselves. Now, how can my achievers help others work with? I feel like this is for the mentors, the coaches, the things of that nature. People who generally do that type of work. I think that being able to work with your clientele will help a lot. Okay? Alright, so how can my achievers help the world? You got feel your emotions. Feel your emotions in regards to, so that you know how you would help the world best. You know, what must you do in order to help the world best is what I'm getting, my gorgeous achievers. Okay, so now on to my individualists, the individuals who intuitively know what to place in the center of attention, how long to keep it there, how to get others to be interested in as well, and for what aim and what purpose. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my individualists, please come forward and share how they can help themselves. And you got recraft, repurpose, rebrand in the reverse. So what I'm getting is that this week, no recrafting, no repurposing, nothing of the nature. Continue on the path that you're on. Work at it, refine it, tweak it. That is what you need to do. Okay? So that is what I have for the way my individualists can help themselves. So now, how can my individualists help others? Oh, it's also green. Rebuild their confidence. I feel like you have a specific individual that you're working with whose confidence is at baseline. They don't feel very confident at this moment. So help them rebuild their confidence so that they can go out and achieve much, much more. Okay? Now, how can my individualists help the world? Start fresh. Which I think goes back to recraft, repurpose, rebrand in the reverse. So like I said, for the recraft, repurpose, rebrand, you don't need to do all that this week, but I feel like you do need to plan ahead for next week. So what I'm getting is that no necessary changes at this moment, but you need to start thinking about it, because the way you'll help others, the way you'll help the world best is by starting fresh. So giving a fresh new so the way that you would help yourself won't change, but the way that you'll help the world must change. Not your process, maybe the way you send out your process, the way you send out information. Maybe you're used to doing like presentations. now it's saying that presentations are good, but you need to also have a something to like a what am I trying to say? A internet link, like a files, like downloadable files, or your class, like e-files, where they can go download the classes and listen to the classes and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is what I have for my individualists. Okay, so now on to my investigators, the individuals who intuitively know what to research, how long to research it, with what aim, what purpose, and so on and so forth. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my investigators, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my investigators. I feel like my cards want to talk, my angels and guides want to talk. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my investigators, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, and God, just be authentic. So be yourself. Don't try to hide yourself or change yourself for someone else. Change yourself for yourself. And I was just talking about this with my mentee today, and so the process, if you want to attract something in your life, you have to say, okay, so this is, I see that this thing that I want to attract is this, like, these are its characteristics, and this type of characteristics looks for these type of characteristics to match it, right? And so for me to be able to attract this, I need to become this type of individual. Okay? And so you and in that case, you decide to become that type of individual, or to take on those roles to attract what it is you want to you. Okay? Because things, they do say opposites attract, but in reality, things that are similar attract. Okay? Yes, there is an actual saying relative to this, but so this just says that in order to attract what you want, you need to become those characteristics in order to, like I said, attract what you want. Okay? So just become what it is you want. So that is the card. That's the first thing. Wait. Yes. Okay. I don't know what my neighbor is watching. I don't know if you guys can hear the rumblings coming from that side, but it is interesting. In any case, so that was it. That was how my investigators can help themselves. Now, how can my investigators help others? Wink, bottom card. Wink and eat out. Alright, so the way that my investigators can help others is making light of things, but I'm not saying that to make light of a very serious situation, but it's to make it less stressful and then take the stress out of the situation. I feel like there is something in regards to something happening in a household which is stressing someone out. So make light of the situation that's stressing the person out so that you can make them feel more comfortable, not to make fun of them or what they are experiencing, but to make them feel more comfortable, more at ease with you, and then suggest to eat out so that the person has less stress on their shoulders. right? Because then there's the whole cleanup, and then there's the whole this and the whole that. First there's the prep, then there's the eating, then there's the cleanup, and that which most people don't stick around for, if you know what I mean. So have fun, wink, and eat out. That's what I'm getting for my investigators. Okay, now how can my investigators help the world? And you got manifestation. What are your thoughts and beliefs about this subject? Think about how it makes you feel. So, that thing that you are, you want to help the world, but in order to help the world, you first need to be in the right headspace. And so whatever it is that you're trying to do, think of how it makes you feel, so that you can then place yourself in the right mentality to manifest or do that thing that'll actually help the world move forward, is what I'm getting, okay? So now on to my loyalists, the individuals who intuitively know what to stay loyal to, how long to stay loyal to it, how to get others to be loyal to it, and with what aim and what purpose. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my loyalists, please come forward and share what they can do to help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my loyalists, please come forward and share what they can do to help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, and you got be vulnerable to yourself. I feel like there's something that you need to admit to yourself. This is what, and when you are vulnerable with yourself, you'll be able to actually admit that you need help with something, and in so doing, you will be able to better help yourself, is what I'm getting. Okay, now how can my loyalists help others? You got enjoy to the fullest. My loyalists, whatever, I feel like in order to get more people that are loyal to something, you need to show them why you like it so much, or why you are so driven in regards to staying loyal to it. If you show them that the reason why you are loyal to this is because you enjoy this, then they'll see that there is an actual fun, there's actual enjoyment in it, and that it's not just work or what have you. It's something that will actually give them pleasure, enjoyment, and things of that nature. And when they notice that, then they'll be more prone to stick with it, is what I'm getting. At least this week, that's what I'm getting. Okay, so now how can my loyalists help the world? And you got value. Value the world. Value the world's differences. Value what others can bring to the table. Value their perspective. Value their gifts, abilities, and all that jazz that they bring to the table. Okay, that is what I have for you guys. Okay, so now on to my enthusiasts, the individuals who intuitively know what to be enthusiastic about, how long to stay enthusiastic about it, how to get others enthusiastic about it as well, and for what aim and what purpose. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my enthusiasts, please come forward and share. Well, how can they help themselves this week? Please, God, angels, and guides. And you got adjust your method. My enthusiasts, adjust your method on how you help yourself. I feel like there's something you could do a tad better in order to, to be able to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Okay? Yes. My enthusiasts. Alright, so now how can What am I doing? No. Yes, okay. So now, how can my enthusiasts help others? They're listening to, I don't know if you hear it, but my neighbor is watching a very rumbly video. That's all. Or movie. I don't know what it is. In any case. Or they're moving stuff around. Let go of overlook. Others. In order to, how can you help others let go of an overlook? Let go of and overlook the fact that whatever they're doing is distracting me at this point. Like with kids, let go of and overlook that your attention is being drawn. You can't really concentrate on what it is that you want to do. Well, I know March break ended. I don't know how long March break is. I remember March break in my time was 2 weeks. I think in elementary it was 2 weeks. Then it became 1 week. Well, things have changed. I don't know if it's still 2 weeks in elementary, but so my enthusiasts, to help others let go of and overlook what they're doing that is annoying you so that you can best help them is what I'm getting. Like, for example, I have a mentee, okay, and she constantly cuts me off in what I'm telling her. Cuts me off and tells me, no, Talar, you can't understand. You're talking about two completely different things. I'm like, okay, that tells me that my mentee is not yet ready to understand this process that I'm trying to explain to her. I'm like, okay, I'll just wait until she's ready then. Okay, so that is how we can help others. Now, how can my enthusiasts help the world? Drink up the fame, drink up the fortune, drink up the attention, things of that nature. I'm not really getting much on this card. Okay, so that is it for my enthusiasts. So now on to my protectors, the individuals who intuitively know what to keep safe, how long to keep it safe for, from whom, and for what aim and purpose. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my protectors, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my protectors, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, and you got transform. How can you help yourself, my protectors? Transform something. Transform your way of viewing something, transform your way of doing something, transform your way of talking to someone, transform it. Okay? That would be the death and rebirth card for this. That's tarot. In tarot. In some decks it's called death and rebirth. In other decks it's called death. So, now how can my protectors help the world? You got align with. If you want to best help a very large group of people, make sure that you guys are both on the same wavelength. Or if you weren't at the same wavelength at the beginning, that everyone understands what the same wavelength is. What the wavelength that is being done, that is being aimed at is, so that everyone can align themselves with the wavelength. Okay? So now, how can my protectors help the world? Let's go with the pink card. Envision, which is very closely align with. So, first and foremost, make sure that you are aligned with the others in regards to what you would like to do, so that everyone gets off on the right foot in this project, And then how you can help the world is by envisioning from that perspective, that vibration that you're all on. You envision the future that you would like to see come forth. If that makes sense at all. Okay? So that was it for my protectors. Now, onto my chameleons, the individuals who intuitively know what intuitive style to use in any given situation. I don't know why I'm dancing. It's like Armenian Shuchbar, which is like, it's, I kind of think of it being line dance, but line dance in a circle where everyone's in a circle and they're doing the same movement. Instead of it being on lines, they're actually in one line that goes around. Anyway, or many circles. In either case, I find that line dancing and shuchbar, which is circular dance, is very similar. It's just a shape that changes, alright? So now, please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my chameleons, please come forward and share how my chameleons can help themselves this week. Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my chameleons, please come forward and share how they can help themselves this week. Please call out angels and guides, anyone with the highest good who has a message for my chameleons. Please come forward and share how they can help themselves. Please, God, angels and guides, anyone with the highest good who has a message for my chameleons. Please come forward and share how they can help themselves. And you got, free yourself. Help yourself by freeing yourself of, I said preconceived notions. That's what I heard. Preconceived blocks, stuff that you envision, blocks that you envision, things that you have placed in front of yourself. That isn't really the issue. Now, how can my chameleons help the others visualize the future you want and take aligned, inspired action to achieve what you visualized? So I feel like in this situation, you are a mentor and you are helping your mentees. Okay, so either you're a mentor or a coach. Okay? So whomever you are, you're trying to help your mentees or your clients to better create the future they want. All right? Yes. So how can my chameleons help the world? Yeah, move on. Move on. Move on from what you thought was going to... Move on from what you thought was going to be the way you were going to help the world, because maybe it's not. Maybe you need to reframe your mind to best help them, because the way that you thought was not actually the best way to help them, is what I'm picking up on. Okay, so that is it for my chameleons. Now, my gorgeous triple tears, this is all that I have for you guys this week for this video series. If you like this and if you'd like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email box below and it'll be my pleasure to assist. In that same box, you'll find a little description of this video and the email you can send donations to on PayPal if you feel so called. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, I wish you guys all a very good week and I'll see you next Sunday, okay? Bye.